Hello. Welcome to week three. Is it week three? Week three. Yeah, week three of ignore that of thoughts, feelings, and reflections. Welcome. We've moved the camera again, and I'm on my bed this time, and you can see leg. And I'm also recording this the day after last week. Before I continue, actually, let me just quickly say, if you listened to last week, I'm very sorry. I realised that the quality of the audio was shit. It was awful. But here's why. And it's because the phone was pointed this way, and it was all the way over here, and I was just talking. Even if you could hear that, I don't know. Even if you could see that on the video, which is a perk of being a YouTube subscriber, and it's not actually on Substack. I've been lying. It's just YouTube, apparently. So there you are. Anyway, off topic. Welcome back. If you don't know what this is your first one. This is a podcast about anything I want to talk about, my thoughts, my feelings, and my reflections of any topic that I want to talk about. Quick recap. Week 1 was about my experience with late night driving and just listening to classical music. And last week was about my film and my experience over the few months I've been doing it. This week is about physical media. This is a topic I love. It's still on the side. I love talking about physical media. I'm a huge fan. This is more so about vinyl, DVD, CD, not like VHS. Cassette, sort of. I'm not really a cassette guy, but like also like game discs as well, not just DVD, CD, and vinyl. I am a huge fan of vinyl. I have one here because I literally listened to it earlier. This, if you can see it on the video, then there you go. If not, this is a copy of, this is a single of I Just Can't Stop Loving You by Michael Jackson. Then that's the disc. If you've never seen a vinyl before. For those who are actually dumb enough to not know what a vinyl is a plastic disc with grooves. And then you put it on a thing called a record player and it plays the grooves. It's great. It's a great thing. I love it. Vinyl collecting in the last few years has become quite expensive, in my opinion. And well, it's not really in my opinion. And obviously, people buy vinyls from like independent record shops, like for example, just like local, like mother and son shops where they have pre-owned vinyls, or just like markets and stuff, or most likely here in the UK anyway, I don't know, but I don't know about other countries apart from America, but here in the UK you could buy your vinyls from HMV, which is for those who don't know, if you really care, HMV is a shop where they already sell physical media and like game like merchandise, TV shows and stuff. And the thing which I've noticed between the local local record shops and the mainstream shops is the fact that they overcharge. I mean, it's mad. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I bought this single by here, the one that I have in my hand. I bought this for I think £3 online because somebody was reselling it because they didn't want it anymore. So I obviously I bought it because, again, £3. Nowadays, because they don't really do vinyl singles, but sometimes they do. They're like £10. That's insane. Like, the price of vinyl singles, first off, the price of vinyl singles is really expensive for newer artists. For newer albums even. And I think that's insane. I mean, if it was sealed, obviously that's from 1987, so obviously you would think that the price would be up, but it's not. It's because they're vinyl singles, they're if they're from the older years, then it's going to be more expensive realistically, you would think, because of the age of the product. Ignore the fan in the background as well. But they're not unless they're sealed, and I don't get that. But you go to HMV and you pick up a sealed vinyl single, £10. The only one I can think of recently is the only one I can think of is the Beatles song. I can't remember what it's called. Now and Then, I think, which they released in 2023. I think. I don't know. I don't research these things. And I mean, this was before AI was such a huge thing. But I remember they used AI to replicate some band member's voice. And I think I was going to buy it because I was actually enjoying the song, Sorry. Like, this was before AI had all of its, like, controversies over the, over the use of it and stuff. I'm not getting into that. Again, different topic, different week. But, like, it's the fact that, like, it was a great song and I was going to pick it up. Like, so I went on the HMV website. It was £10. Like, £10 for one song is insane. And I can sort of see why people go to streaming and digital downloads as well. Main albums, like big proper albums, two LPs. Well, one LP, for example, an LP is long player, the 12-inch record. You could buy that for 30 quid. Even older albums that are being remastered are still 30 quid. Sometimes HMV, like discount some of them for those like that aren't selling, which is good. Like, they try to make room for new stock, but also it's still 30 quid. And there was this one album, Stevie Wonder, I think it was. I think it was Stevie Wonder Songs in the Key of Life, I think it's called. It's like an orange album, like this, my phone. You would know if you watch it on YouTube. It was like 65 quid. £65 for an album is insane. When I could go on my phone or my laptop and just Google Songs in the Key of Life full album and get the full album for free. And I don't get it. And I think that's insane. Like, even DVDs, like CDs and DVDs are a bit different. They're a bit cheaper, like a lot cheaper. But still, you could go into HMV. I'm using it as an example because it's like the only shop I know. But like, I know here Asda sell them, and like in America, Walmart, Target sell them, like vinyls, DVDs, and stuff. But you could go into them shops and pick up a CD that's £10. £10 isn't awful. I mean, it's a lot better than like £65. But even then, a double album can go up to upwards of 30 quid, which is insane. And like, slowly moving on from like the mainstream stuff, you look at these local record shops that have pre-owned vinyl or new vinyl, and they're not that expensive. You could go into one of these shops, they'll have a single like that I have. £1. That's perfect. That's great. If it's rare, charge what you want, in my opinion. It makes sense. It's rare. Like, you don't want to get rid of something that's so, like, if it's easy to get, which it probably would be if it's a mainstream thing, then you're gonna pay £1 or £2. If it's an album which you don't really hear of, or a vinyl that you don't hear of, charge a decent price because somebody will buy it, but only if it's in good condition. And I understand it. I understand people's reasoning. I'm not saying like it's a stupid thing. I'm saying that like they're probably doing the right thing for themselves. They're trying to make a profit. I get it. Fair enough. But even then, with like the full albums, 2 vinyls and up, they only charge 20. I think the highest I've seen it go in the one near me is like 30 for 2 discs. So I could probably have got the Stevie Wonder album for half the price than HMV. I'll never understand that store, to be honest. I love it. I mean, like, if somebody is listening who works at HMV, like, I think it's great. I love the store. I think it's such a awesome store. It's convenient. It's a good vibe, but it's expensive. And it might be, cost of living and stuff, but like, that's insane. And it's no wonder why people choose streaming, like music, TV, movie. Why they choose, like games as well. Like, why they choose to do that on streaming rather than they do to pick it up physically. And even then, like, I could be saying, oh yes, 30 quid for the vinyl, but you also got to keep in mind the record player, the CD player, the DVD player. Most consoles, game consoles, if you have a games console like a PS5 or an Xbox, realistically you can play DVDs and DVDs, Blu-rays, and CDs on there. But if you want a standalone player, you can't play vinyls on a PlayStation. You need to buy a record player. Record players, like, you could buy those briefcase record players that normally just like, they look like a briefcase. You open up the buckles, open it up, there's a turntable and the needle and the volume and everything you need for £20. But they damage the vinyl, and you don't want to damage your vinyl. This is a big thing. You could listen to old vinyl and you'll hear the crackles and the pops. That could be many reasons, obviously. I mean, either it just hasn't been cleaned, or it's had so much wear or scratches from people mishandling it that it's gonna sound like shit. But you don't want it to skip, because it can. I've got one, which I don't know how it happened. Might have been because I accidentally dropped it, but it happens. Where you play in a song and then it'll keep playing the same line. Because obviously, I think vinyl is more like a swirl. A lot bigger swirl. But it's like a swirl that, plays the thing, and then, yeah, I'm not getting, like, this isn't a science lesson. This is a rant. But, like, with good record players, you have to spend upwards of like £100 and up. And it's insane. I think vinyl should be accessible to everybody. I think it's amazing. Back in the day, you could buy a vinyl for £10. Now it's 60. You're insane. CDs are more compact. Most cars have CD players anyway. So if you're buying a CD for a car, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, most older cars, if you've got older cars, then they're gonna have CD players. But if you just want to listen to it in the house and you don't have a console, you need to buy a CD player. You could buy cheap CD players. I've had one. It was alright, but the quality's awful. So what do? You have to buy a sound system. You have to buy speakers. Same with a record player. You have to buy speakers. You have to buy the cables to go with it to connect it. Or some record players now have Bluetooth. Mine does. It's awful though, because you can hear the needle scratching on the music. You can hear it playing, and then it's delayed. I hate it. I love DVDs as well. I mean, I love, having a DVD with a film on, because you can buy them for cheap. Charity shops, eBay, stuff like that. Little, like, market shops have these things for cheap. But if you want a brand new DVD, you still have to go to HMV or stuff like that. And the one thing which really pissed me off is with my mouse. Sorry, off topic, but the laptop just played. Are we still recording? Okay, we are. Off topic, my bad. One thing that you got to keep in mind with DVDs as well is the TV show Severance came out the other day. I say the other day. No, it didn't. It came out a few years ago. What am I on about? It's a great TV show on Apple TV Plus, by the way. If you have Apple TV Plus, watch it. It's insane. It's so good. And they released the first season on DVD because Apple TV Plus is expensive and there's nothing on there. £25 brand new for 2 discs, I think. What? The Blu-rays are more expensive now as well. And I think that's insane. £25 for a DVD. DVDs, I think, only go up to 720p as well, which is probably the quality that you see in the video if you're watching it, because I'm using my laptop as a laptop camera. So I'm not really, like, it's going to be like this quality, the entire thing. When you stretch it out on a big TV, it's going to look shit. So you might as well stream it. But that's the issue. Because the other day, I think Sony, this is quite recent, but by the time you listen to this, it'll probably be old news. Recently, it was announced that Sony are going to stop doing physical media. And I think also accepting physical. I didn't really read it. And I think that's insane. Because now you don't really own it. If you have a DVD or a vinyl or a CD or even a cassette or a VHS or something like that, but nobody listens to VHSs. In my opinion, you own your music. You can actually feel it. Do you know what I mean? You can take the vinyl out the sleeve, feel the grooves. This is mine. This is my music. You take the CD out, you look at the bottom, there's the laser, there's the information. I can see it. I can see my music. Same with the DVD, I can see it. The cassette, I can see the tape. And I just think it's insane that Sony, and I think Microsoft as well, are beginning to do this with their consoles. I mean, I have a digital-only PlayStation, so I'm sort of contradicting my point. But my digital-only PlayStation was only because I can't trust myself with games. I have so many Wii games from the past where I took it out and put it in the wrong case. So I can't actually trust myself. But in recent years, I'm good with CDs and DVDs and whatever. Again, not the point. And on X, which is Twitter, I know a lot of people don't like it, whatever. I've seen a lot of people comment on this by saying, if streaming isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing. And I couldn't agree more, actually. Which is a bit of a dodgy thing to say, but I don't care. It's not wrong. I mean, obviously when you pirate something, you're stealing it. You are. I don't pirate. I buy my media. But you're not really, you're still streaming it, do you know what I mean? And even then you don't own it. If you stole a DVD from a shop, that's stealing, because you've got it physically. You can't, piracy is a completely different thing, in my opinion. But we're not getting into that. That's too controversial and too political, so I don't want to do it. End of conversation. DVDs, anyway. DVDs, CDs and stuff. I think yeah, like, again, you own your music. Do you know what I mean? And there's nothing better than, like, with a CD, you get the album, there's a front cover, there's a back cover. You can read the album, you can see who made it, who put their love and soul into your music that you're now going to enjoy. And then you could take off the plastic, open it up, there's a disc, which you could look at the cover art that somebody made for you. And you see all the information that somebody put on that disc for you. And you see the art on the back of the case that somebody made for you. And then you can take out the front cover and it's a booklet with information about the artist, about the album, with some lyrics, whatever. That somebody put their effort in for you. And I think it's amazing. You don't get that with streaming. You can't, you get the front album cover because you need to know what the album is, you need to know what the artist is. But half the time, no one knows who put their love and soul into the music. It's not just one person making the music. Unless it's an indie artist, fair play. But these big artists have teams behind them. They have themselves, producers, you know, the photographers, the people that make the music videos, and, you know, the designers for the cover art, the designs for the designs for the CD and the booklet, and people who actually help them write the lyrics. And there's more than one person doing the music. You don't get that with streaming. You have to look for it. I mean, don't get me wrong, you still have to look for it in a CD, but you can appreciate it a bit more, in my opinion. With CDs, you gotta, like, look through it. You gotta, like, well, not with CD, sorry, with streaming. You gotta look through it. You gotta click this information if you want to see it, but it doesn't say it on the front cover. Do you know what I mean? Back of the CD cover, you're gonna get everyone. Same with the DVD. On the back of the DVD, half the time DVDs don't have booklets. Fair play, I get it. But on the back of the DVD case, at the bottom, you get all the information. The company that produced it, all the actors, more credits. And it just tells you about who did the work for you, so that you could just hold this piece of media with your favourite movie, or your favourite album, or something like that. And you just won't, sorry, checking my laptop to make sure I'm not dying. You just don't get that with streaming. And you have to look for it. IMDb has it all. But realistically, are you going to look at IMDb to get this information? Because you're not. You're not going to look into it. You're not going to open IMDb. You're not going to Google your favourite film and go into IMDb and look at everyone. Unless you do. Then in that case, fair point. But I still don't like the thought of streaming. I like streaming. It's convenient. I do it. Obviously, I have Spotify. I have Netflix. But I prefer to have my music in hand and my DVDs in hand. And it's a lot nicer. And also with streaming, I guess you could argue that it can be expensive because streaming services charge you. Arguably, it's more expensive than physical media. But that's why you buy physical media. DVDs are one-time purchase of £1 or wherever you found it. Like, it could be £1 from a charity shop or something, or eBay. If not, then it's what, upwards of £10, but it's one time. Netflix is, for the best quality, I think it's 15 quid a month, maybe more. I don't use Netflix. I'm paying for it for no reason. Same, like, I use Spotify all the time when I'm in the car, but I also have my CD booklets in the car, like the case where you can scroll through and get a CD and put it in the car. And I use them, but I use streaming more, unfortunately, because it's more convenient to just click play and drive. But again, that's the point. It's more convenient. And it's insane. But I get it. It's more, like, streaming is the way of the world, and physical media is dying. And it's a shame, because physical media is a lot more fun to listen or watch. Like, the other day I bought the new Michael movie on Apple TV, iTunes technically, upwards of £20. That's quite expensive, don't get me wrong. It'd be more than it is on DVD, because that's £10. But it's still a one-time purchase. Whereas if it came out on Netflix, you'll be paying monthly to watch maybe one or two shows, because even streaming services are running out of ideas, and then that's why they've started putting this stuff on DVDs. Stranger Things is coming out on a 4K box set, I think, next week. This time will probably be out because I'm filming it, But there you go. I think I'm done with this topic. Oh God. Have a quick drink. But overall, use physical media more. Stream, okay. You don't have to listen to me. I'm just some kid. Do you know what I mean? I'm just some guy ranting about my thoughts. They aren't too political, because I'm not getting into that. Join me next week where I start talking about AI. No. Maybe. No, I'm not getting into that. No way. No way. But yeah, physical media is great. Use it more. If you don't use it, okay. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Live your life. But physical media is amazing. And I think I'm done. That's all I have to say about it. Thank you. If you've actually got this far, which is 23 minutes of just me ranting, then thank you for listening to this podcast. It's been great. I'm now doing proper outros compared to the first episode. I don't know if the new thing is out. If I've done the new thing, be a new idea, but if it is, it'd be out now. I probably should mention as well, which I still haven't mentioned, the videos, the VODs of the podcast come out the day after on YouTube. So the podcast comes out around Monday midnight, and then the videos come out the next day, Tuesday midnight. But the audio is available on YouTube straight away. So that's always positive, really. I might do another one next week, but next week will be the 1 month, technically, because it's 4 weeks. So it might be in a new month. That's so exciting, yes. Happy August, guys. Happy August. I love it. Yes. Oh, shit. Anyway, I'm done. Thanks. Thank you again. Check out some of my shit. Substack, Spotify on here. manisolation.com for the film from last week. Yeah. Final thing. Buy physical media. Alright. Done now. Have a great week. See you next week. And if the new thing's launched, maybe I'll see you sooner. Wink, wink. I don't know. Depends on if I've done it. Alright. Well. Bye-bye. I'm done.